From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
And that's definitely the way you get things started. That's the way it was drawn up in the locker room, in pregame, and everything. And they got it done right away, running the ball for a big game.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To the air with McCarthy. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. And this one is right down the middle. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put them in field goal range.
And one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. We'll see how the rest of the game goes.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Yellow. 180. Hey, 15.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught. It's Xavier Worthy. Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd down and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4. At the 27.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. 3rd and 2.
At the 29-yard line. A gain of 2.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Kansas City Chiefs.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big play there for KC. 41 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rice. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 2nd down and 4.
Brings up second and 4.
And again, it's Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Vikings 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory.
10 yards on the pickup.
Again, it's Jones. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 72 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Throwing is McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Now they'll change things up. Here's McCarthy. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. McCarthy going to throw again. Well, this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now McCarthy. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 1-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson taking it in. And the Vikings have retaken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Easy. Hey, finish up. 15. Attack. Hey, 43. 15.
Now Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
It's now 3rd down.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Now back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Yellow. 15. 180. Yellow.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is going to have the Chiefs first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. That went out wide and intercepted.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. But the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. On his horse. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Mason, 99 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp. and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
27 yards. And a Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
Now here's Mahomes. That's caught right side by Worthy. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
It's a loss of 2.
And Mahomes sees something. He'll change the play.
At the 36-yard line.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. That ball caught. It's Rice. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Yellow.
Mahomes going to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A gain of 10 yards.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Vikings, first down. A gain of 13 yards. First down, Minnesota.
Looking to throw McCarthy. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Oh, a quarterback sneak on 2nd down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter.
A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
On the return, the Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
First and 10.
They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, Shaq. 70 Timberwolves, 70 Lions. Check out.
To the air with McCarthy. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd.
These are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
It's a gain of 11. And the Vikings, 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll take this close to a 1st down at the Chiefs' 15-yard line. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
McCarthy operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Kevin O'Connell has a play call ready. His guys going for it on 4th. Going for it. Here's McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jalen Naylor, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6.
The Vikings will line up.
McCarthy going to look to throw for it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
Vikings 28, Chiefs 14. Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game,
and Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And he rifles one incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight, planted their feet, and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
An inside give to Jones. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Will Weichert on for the Vikings field goal. A 35-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Inside the 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick-6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. Now he's loose again. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 59 yards. And the Chiefs get a bit closer.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
No one left in the backfield as they send a man left. Mahomes will throw for it. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further.
Chiefs 22. Harrison Butker to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
At the 44-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Short throw caught by the tight end Oliver. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Vikings 1st down.
On play action. Now McCarthy. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Now 3rd down and very long.
A loss of 11 yards. It's
McCarthy. Under pressure, they got him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth.
Ryan Wright in punt formation for the
On
Vikings.
fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Remigio. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, first and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jonathan Grenard able to put an end to that play, and in so doing, puts an end to this third quarter. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Mahomes got to have this one. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on fourth down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Ready.
Here's McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
To the right goes Mason.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Vikings on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. McCarthy. And he will score. Touchdown.
Were you trying to get crazy with this thing?